Australia is beatable.
How
Absolutely.
will you survive against them? What is the plan? If they win semi-final, then you cannot stop that for sure. So
Exactly.
once they're in final, it will be very 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 tough, very tough.
Never rule out the mighty West Indies. But four on the trot, they're still unbeaten.
You name it, you name it. Yes, Alice Perry is always a key player. She's the MVP. She's the MVP of Australian cricket. Those 30 runs which she smashed against India.
We're down to the final four teams of the Women's T20 World Cup 2024 at the UAE. This is where the things get very, very fired up. We are down to the four teams, very deserving one. Starting with you, Deepu. Four teams. We all know what happened yesterday and also day before yesterday. Confirmed four spots. Do you think they are the deserving teams to move into the semis?
See, in terms of T20 tournament, there is nothing deserving or undeserving. Whosoever plays better cricket will eventually get into the semi-finals, and I believe Australia were expected to do that, and they did that perfectly. 4 wins on the trot. Even New Zealand, the way they played against India, outplayed us totally, and even against Pakistan, despite posting on only Nelson on the board. So I think they did really well. Going to the other group as well, South Africa did it really well, and obviously the laws of the game this time favoring them in terms of net run rate. What we saw in 2021 with the men's side, that they avoided that. And West Indies, I think they also, as I said earlier in the preview as well, that they were the dark horses, and they actually punched above their weight and just showed the world that they actually exist in
Absolutely.
the T20 circuit, and beating England in what was a virtual quarterfinal, just proves their worth.
Absolutely. We always say when it comes to the men's, and we slowly have to accept it in terms of the women's as well, never rule out the mighty West Indies. But our focus is on the first semi-finals, Australia versus South Africa women. And I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a huge game. Both the semi-finals are not only huge, but these two heavyweights facing off against each other. Said Group A was the group of death, ended up being both the groups became the group of death. Gurpalji, four teams that have qualified, none of them are Asian sides. Not good signs when you're being a supporter of Asia.
Yes, exactly. When the matches are happening in Dubai or subcontinent, we can say none of the Asians team has qualified for the semi-finals. I guess all the Asian teams are themselves to be blamed. Pakistan, that they created Harakiri, they would have easily chased down that score because they would be able to score these 110, 111s during their matches as well. And 111 was not a tough target. I don't know what they were doing to achieve. What they were achieving to achieve the target in 10 overs like that, because the way
Yeah,
they
the equation was
lost
10.4 overs.
if they would have batted sensibly, they could have easily scored or been. It was not had that much a heavy defeat like the way we saw that defeat. So and India, as of now, what I can say,
Nothing to be
we are
said. But
themselves to
Paji,
blame.
you're saying if they would have batted sensibly, Pakistan, they would have got the win, but that would have gone in vain because they wouldn't have qualified, but their arch rivals would have qualified. Do you think that they would have accepted that?
I can't say, but the win is win. The win should be it should have been confidence booster for the Pakistan cricket. The way the Pakistan cricket is in turmoil, like in men's cricket and women's cricket, if they would have won, that means they would have beaten New Zealand and Sri Lanka from their good. That would have been very good achievement for Fatima Sana, who unfortunately lost her father, and
Yeah.
team should have stood by her and should have gifted that win to her. And they could have signed off the tournament very well on a positive note.
Absolutely. Signing off the tournament in a winning note. You said no words for India, no words similarly for Sri Lanka, who absolutely were really poor in the World Cup, being champions of the Asia earlier in the year. Similarly, nothing for Bangladesh as well. So here is it. We're focusing into the first semi-final at Dubai, Australia women versus South Africa women. I have Deepu with me representing South Africa. I have Gurpalji with me representing Australia. Starting with the defending champions who comprehensively made their spot into the semi-finals, Gurpalji. Australia rode to the semis if you're focusing into 5th of October. First game at Sharjah defeated a Sri Lanka woman comprehensively by 6 wickets. Then move on to, as we thought, could be one of the biggest games of the groups. New Zealand woman defeated them as well by 60 runs. Third game versus Pakistan, easy peasy, 9 wicket victory. Then we came on to the decider if you're an Indian fan versus Team India, won that game versus by 9 runs without the presence of Elisa Healy. Four on the trot, they're still unbeaten. What are your thoughts? How was the group stages for Australia?
I will say this India-Australia clash remind me of the India-Pakistan clash of the early years. Like play a final before the final. So as Australia also said, the whole media is also saying only Indian team can give a tight fight fight to this mighty Australian team. So the juggernaut keeps on rolling. As we discussed there before the India Australia match, they will definitely find a replacement. So Grace Harris was the opener when Elisa Hilly was not well due to her injury, and boy, they played very well. The fielding, run outs,
Top class.
saving fours, and then you have every player for every situation. Megan Scoot bowled very well. And then Sutherland suddenly that last over, last couple of overs, when you need to strike big, and their fielding came into party, their bowling came into party, their death bowling came into party. So Australia and tough cookies, yeah, they're mentally very very tough. And the best part about Australia is the all the 10 or 11 players can bat.
Absolutely.
They are super athletic side. Athleticism is there, fielding is there, and they are strong women. Their throwing arm is also very, very great. So you cannot take double, or you have to think twice before taking a double or a triple on these big rounds as well. And it would be a repeat of 2023 final. I guess the clash between South Africa and Australia. They were the finalists in the 2023 World Cup. So it would be a revenge match. But South Africa has to play out of their skin to even beat this Australian team, or
Okay,
even
so you're saying the team, the Proteas women, have to play out of the skin to defeat Australia, made it four on the trot. Repeat of the 2023 World Cup final is what on the cards. Fair enough, but the fielding, the bowling, the batting, all the three departments, Australia were right on the top. Similarly, focusing into their opponents, South Africa women, Deepu. If you talk about the road to the semis, for South Africa, they defeated West Indies on their first game by 10 wickets, then lost to England women by 7 wickets on the 7th of October. Then on the 9th of October, they defeated Scotland women massively by 80 runs. And on the 12th of October, defeated Bangladesh women by 7 wickets. 3 wins, 1 loss, enough to take them through to the semis. How has been South Africa women's campaign so far in the World Cup?
I think it was pretty decent, to be honest. They got a very easy group in terms of competition with Scotland, Bangladesh. No discredit, but comparing the three sides,
Mhm.
it was the England game which was the main game of this group, which they eventually lost to very badly to England, but still they have managed to win. Credit to the 10 wicket win against Windies and the other two games as well. So I think
Yeah,
it was a decent campaign, but I think the just what Gurpal Paji said, that Australia is a tough nut to crack, and these are the very same teams contested the final as well last year. So I think
yeah.
it will be tough, but I think South Africa, if they can just mentally hold their nerves, they can actually maybe topple them, or at least give them competition in this semi-final.
Similarly, just like Gurpalji said about Australia team as a unit, I'll just come to individuals at least. How important is the duo of Laura Volvart and Marizan Cap for South Africa?
It's the backbone of their lineup, to be honest, because it's Pulpart who is giving up the starts at the top, and that's the biggest reason that they have made it to the semi-finals. Marizan Cup is a big unit. We have seen it, and we all three have seen it in the WPL for Delhi, and
Yep,
now what she is doing for South Africa. And she is a big unit with experience in terms of pace bowling, as I said earlier in the preview as well. They don't have experienced pacers, so it all boils down to Cup. So she has done really well as a senior pro, and again, once again, South Africa will be expecting their senior pros to perform, because
absolutely.
they are also due a big ICC trophy, in both men's and women's cricket. So I think this could be their chance, I believe.
Okay, so this could be the chance. Unfortunately, it wasn't for the men's. It was India. For the women's, it could be the chance, but they have to beat one of the best sides, rather the best in the women's cricket, Australia. Similarly, just like you mentioned about Marisa and Cap, Gurpalji, in your team as well for Australia, you have somebody named as Elise Perry, single-handed match winner in the cards.
Not about Alice Perry. Talia McGrath came into form against India. She was having a
Yeah,
quite World Cup, but she's back in form. You have Grace Harris, you have Ashley Gardner, you name it, you name it. Yes, Alice Perry is always a key player. She's an MVP. She's an MVP of Australian cricket. Those 30 runs which she smashed against India
mhm,
were crucial, and that four which she put her body on the line, that
yeah,
four which she saved, also it came into a crucial thing, because we just lost by 6 or 7 runs only, and the last six,
yeah,
that which called hit of the Senka Patel, the last over, last
yeah.
ball six.
Correct. Last ball of the
So
innings.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. They are fighter. They are playing as a cohesive unit, and I'm not surprised if they can do like India, without dropping a single match, they can win the World Cup, because tomorrow's match is important. If they win semi-final, then you cannot stop that for sure. So
exactly.
once they're in final, it will be very 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 tough to beat them.
Exactly, because they're mentally very strong, and if they make it to the finals, they will do whatever it takes to get over the line, just like we always seen for the men's as well. Yes, Gopalji, once again over to you.
Apart from mentally strong, they have all the bases covered. They have the fast bowling resources, they have the spinner resources, their fielding, athleticism, their batting. Look, they can. even after even losing couple of wickets earlier, they have that potential to score 151, to give a fighting
Correct.
total with 150, and then they can back them the fielding. They can save 20 extra runs, then they have the death bowling also, and in the middle they have the spinners also. So how
Absolutely.
will you survive against them? What is the plan? The, stopping them at 150, will it be easy? No, they won't make you easy. Only if they can get collapse, or can bundle around 100 or 120, which I don't think so. It will happen.
Okay, so you're saying that mighty Aussies are a different nut to crack. We will see that. But moving into the pitch report, Deepu, South Africa have played at this venue at the Dubai International Stadium thrice so far in the group stages. But on the other hand, Australia have played only once, and that was a comprehensive victory versus Pakistan. Do you think an additional advantage is there a little bit towards the Protea women's?
Well, see, playing against Australia, there's no additional advantage, to be honest. They are a really tough side, and even though they played once at Dubai, they steamrolled Pakistan. So you know how their caliber is. But I feel if South Africa, can act what I said earlier as well, that if they can mentally handle themselves, there is no stopping them to actually win this game, because Australia, they also have humans. They are not god who can win every game. To be honest, see what India
Hmm.
has been doing. They have been putting pressure. It's just that we mess up in the end. The Aussies can be put under pressure if the main guys, Volpart, Marizan Cup, you name it, if these guys collectively perform and take the team along, Australia is beatable. So hopefully we see a new champion this year around, because to be
Absolutely.
honest, I am really tired to actually see Australia standing on that podium. So I believe if South Africa can actually string in a surprise, I'll be really happy. Even if it's not India winning, I'll be happy to see South Africa, West Indies, or even New Zealand win.
Okay, so he Deepu says not Australia, but any of the three sides. But Gurpal Paji, South Africa love to chase, and they have won two out of the three games at Dubai chasing. Similarly, Australia love to defend. What would you do if you're given the captain's hat for either of the sides?
Big match, semi-final. I will, if I have a strong bowling lineup, I will definitely go with bat first, because once we put the runs on the board, that always matter. Be it India, be it Australia, any big team. If you can put 150, 140, 150 on the board, then it will test the best of the best for sure. But you have
So,
you have
so
to
then
play
why
out of the
didn't
score.
it? Why did not? But why did not? Then it happened in the Asia Cup final.
Asia Cup final conditions were different, Sri Lankan conditions and all, and the dew plays a important role as well. It's that type of, and we know our thing. We know our where we like. If we have six bowlers, then our batting becomes weak. If we put extra batsmen, then our bowling becomes
Correct.
weak. So we don't
Exactly.
have that kind of
Absolutely
Hardik
bang on
Pandya
point.
player in Indian team, or a lower order finisher or hitter. That is where we lack, and we know where
Absolutely
we
Major
bang
lack.
on
point you
point
missed,
because
Kazi. You missed major point. Fielding is the major point.
Fielding toe is there. I'm just saying fielding toe is there. Fielding toe is always there with Indian team. That you are dropping so many catches. You are so lethargic on the field. Your throwing arms
Fielding
are
is
not
really
there.
horrible. From the
Your throwing
captain
arm
to
is also
the
not
main
there.
players.
To easily people taking singles and double. Once when we put pressure on Australians, so what they were doing, they were trying to take single, double, and everything they were doing. And when we were chasing, we were playing the dot balls. We're not even finding the
Yep.
gaps.
absolutely that's
Same
what
thing.
you call as game awareness.
Game
Game
awareness also
awareness.
very poor
That's what lacked
for Indian
so
team.
much in Team India. So much experience side, but it never showed. No lack of intent was there in the final game versus Australia. But moving on to the top three players to watch out for, starting with Australia, Deepu, here are my three players to watch out for: Elise Perry, Ashley Gardner, and Megan Shoot are the three players to watch out for, according to me. What's yours?
Well, definitely Perry comes up first. She is a big unit. Second, I think Ely is not there now. She's rolled out, so I think it will be Harris, definitely being the captain leader of the ship. So she comes in. Third, I think I will say Georgia Wareham, to be honest,
Georgia
because
Graham.
now with Dubai turning a lot and with leggies coming up, I think they'll play a big role in the semi-finals and in the finals. So I think it's the leg spinner. I'll pick Georgia Wareham as a third pick.
Okay, surprised you did not pick either of Ashley Gardner, Talia Magra. Fair enough. You have gone with your three different picks. Similarly, Gurpalji, coming to you for South Africa woman, I've gone with Laura Volva. The captain has to be there. Marizan Cap and Malaba. I think three definite picks for South Africa. Any changes for you?
I will also go with the same thing, because these are the star players. They are the backbone of South Africa, especially Mason Cap. She's an all rounder, and I love all rounders. So what Hardik Pandya other people does for their country. So because they can change the game with their fielding, with their batting, and with their bowling. So they are 3D typical 3D cricketers, and they know how to win the match. They are the MVP players. So I will always support the all rounders.
Absolutely.
Same way too you said about Alice Perry, Talia McGrath. But I will suggest that left arm spinner Sophie Mullenix, she can also play a very critical role in that match because
Oh,
the left arm
she's
spinner are bowling very
absolutely
well.
a
Left arm
gem.
spinner are bowling very well on this particular track is also assisting. So because Wareham Deepu said, but Wareham has a tendency of giving full tosses. It's our batting which could not take the benefit of those full
Hmm.
tosses, but the left arm spinner has
How
moved
many
with
full
more
tosses did Deepti Sharma get that day and she failed to dispatch it?
At least
full
four.
tosses,
I can
no
count it on
ball, free
four,
hit.
including the free hit.
Not only that, we could have easily won. Has those even we should have taken the advantage of full tosses and the no ball free hit. We would have easily.
Absolutely, that's where we said n number of times game of awareness. Fair enough. Players to watch out for are done and dusted for both the teams. Moving into the predicted playing 11. Focusing into the mighty Aussies and their predicted playing 11. Without Elisa Healy, it was Talia Magra who led the side versus India. Got the win, got the 2 points, stable toppers. Grace Harris was the opener at the top of the order. It's now at Dubai. Gurpalji doesn't seem like Elise Petty is fit enough to play because she was on crutches, and I don't think so. She's able to play. In case she does, that's a miracle. Then she's expected to replace Grace Harris once again. If not, unchanged 11.
I'm going for unchanged. I won't risk Elisa Haley at this point of time because with the stretchers, she was carrying a stretcher and holding those clutches and all. So I won't take a risk. I would definitely want because she's a wicket keeper. We have to understand that
Yeah.
how much
Yeah.
what was the effect of that injury, whether she would be able to keep. That's important. The batsman you can always get a replace a batsman like with Harris and other. But wicket keeper is a
Yeah.
tough task. With the ball is also turning and keep sometimes keeping low with the matches already being played. I don't know if it would be a fresh pitch or a used pitch. We have to see.
Hmm.
We find out during the
Hmm.
pitch report only. But still, keeping is a tough job, and if you have knee problem or knee issues, then you won't risk because those are very important runs and crucial runouts and crucial stumping and all. I will go with the same team because all
Absolutely.
the bases are covered.
Absolutely. So you're going with the same team, not risking Elisa Hidis, once again led by Talia Magra. Similarly, Deepu, going into South Africa women, have done really well in the group stages by changing something that has worked out so well with them. Balanced side, I'm going with an unchanged 11 for them as well.
Yeah, I'll also go with the same thing. Change 11 because for teams like South Africa, consistency is their key. Because if they change their 11 right now, they might just falter in probably one of the most difficult hurdles. But still, I feel it's better to keep the same 11 until unless there is health or injury concerns in the lineup.
Absolutely.
Just retain the same 11, go on the park and express yourself.
Okay, same 11 for both the sides. Go on the surface, go at the middle and enjoy yourselves and give your 200%. Now it's time for the biggest stage. It's the predictions time now. And it's semi-final one at Dubai. Australia woman versus South Africa woman. What is your percentage? Starting with Deepu.
Well, again, I'm on the radar. I'm representing South Africa, but this is something which South Africans and me as a representing South Africa might just hit. I'll give 51-49 to Australia, to be honest, because they have they have covered all their bases as what Paji has been saying in the video as well. I think they have a better chance of winning. They know how to win tournaments. They know how to win semi-finals. Even though my heart says
Mhm.
that the things might change, as they call it karma. Maybe it can favor South Africa, but going on the cricketing logic, I think Australia starts as favorites.
51-49 in terms of the mighty Aussies. Absolutely honest predictions. Paji, anything different? Are you sticking to the same?
60-40 Australia. They are a form team.
60-40
60-40
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Because they lost their captain and the way they defended the total against India. So I know their strength. We all know their strength, and
Yeah.
so it's not about one player. It's a
We
cohesive
all
team
know
unit,
absolutely.
and we know what Alice Perry can do. I used to
Mhm.
hear I know about Alice Perry. I used to hear about Alice Perry, but when I saw her live, what she did for RCB in the finals, so she's a big match player. She's a big match player. So but we have to keep the
Absolutely.
signal
She's
for him
without a
because
doubt
all the P4 team is a big match player. They also have that's what
All
I'm saying. Na?
11 guys.
Beth Mooney
all the 11
and Grace
players of
Harris.
Australia women are big match players. Absolutely. That's the reason why they are world champions. They are defending champions as well. Can they defend the title successfully? We have to wait and see. Deepu said 51-49. Paji, without a doubt, said 60-40 to Australia. We have to wait and see tomorrow. It's Australia woman versus South Africa woman. Laura Volvard versus probably is going to be Talia Magra in the semi-finals. Sit back and enjoy. It's going to be a cracking contest, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.